Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem, Jane. Can I show you my new article, my new blog that was published yesterday on Israel 365 News, speaking about the time in Denmark that turned out to be a defining moment for me, that turned out to change my life. When I traveled to Copenhagen together with my beloved mother Hannah, and we were facing off terrorist leader Yasser Arafat. When I share this video on my social media, I will share a link to this new blog. I would love if you would go and read this. It's a personal testimony from me. If you would read it, and also please share it out. My family, my grandfather's sister and her husband saved the lives of several Jewish people during the Second World War, hiding them on their farms. Nazis came several times to look for Jews, they never found them. So my family is part of the Danish legacy of saving many Jews during the Second World War. In 1991, Danish TV announced that Yasser Arafat in a few days was going to be welcomed as the head of state, with the red carpet rolled out in the Danish parliament. Everything inside of me was crying out, because I knew Yasser Arafat was a cold-blooded terrorist behind numerous terror attacks killing Jewish people. I remember I picked up the phone and I called my mom and I said, "Are you watching this, Mom? I know in my heart I gotta do something. I feel like God is saying, would you travel to Copenhagen," which, by the way, was 6 hours away. I was living in the different end of the country. So my mom and I ended up traveling to Copenhagen all by ourselves, going into the Danish parliament, having 2 broomsticks, putting on 2 massive Israeli flags, walking up the stairs to the Danish parliament, and just quietly stood there with the Israeli flags out. Of course, there were a lot of policemen on duty, and the flags just turned their heads staring at us. I still get chills down my spine when I'm thinking about that, because I literally felt like there was a spotlight beaming from heaven down upon us, standing there representing God's holy land and his people against this terrorist who was shortly to arrive. A couple of policemen came up to us saying, "What are you doing? You can't stand here." So he said, "Go out on the other side. This is where Yasser Arafat is going to come." While my mom and I are standing with 2 Israeli flags, a young man approached us, and he's all the way up in our faces saying, "What are you doing? Why are you standing with my flag?" It turned out to be a young Jew living in Copenhagen, and he looked at us like, "What is going on?" So we answered and we said, "We simply love Israel and we want Yasser Arafat to see the flag when he arrives here. We don't agree with him coming." And he literally burst into tears, and he was saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every time I see someone is, in Europe standing with our flag, it's because they're burning it with hate." As the motorcade approached us, the skies above Copenhagen turned pitch black, and it started pouring rain, pouring rain, and the whole atmosphere shifted, and you could have cut in the air with a knife. It just turned so evil. Yasser Arafat, coming and going from the Danish parliament, passed right by us. He saw our big Israeli flags. When he left, it was so close by. I looked him in the eye. The big Israeli flags were touching the top of his roof. And I knew that day that I did something that I believe God has ordained me to do, something that was part of my destiny. And that day started my journey towards Israel becoming Jerusalem, Jane. All of that you can read in the blog that was published yesterday. I'm speaking about living here in Israel, going to terror attacks because the Palestinians are being brought up when they're being born, watching TV for children, going to daycare centers, going to school, summer camps, school plays every day. They are filled with the lie that they need to liberate Palestine, so the Jews are fair game, killing them. I have been doing this for many years, while I see the lies, the propaganda and the hate comments against the Jewish people every day. It's like hurricanes, it's like floods and floods and floods, and there's not a lot of us, especially non-Jews, living here doing what I'm doing. So again, if you would go and read that blog, I would be very, very grateful. I'm sharing other things too. As you can see, there is still suitcases behind me. The next chapter for me is to find a new home, as I have to move January 1st. I can't wait to get out of here. I think it's going to be good for me on all areas of my life. I've been through numerous incidents, death threats, injuries, wheelchairs in this apartment, and sometimes you just comes to a place where you feel like I can barely breathe. So it would be amazing to start 2022 for Jerusalem Jane moving into a new apartment. So I will also share the link to a GoFundMe page that was raised. As you know, the entire time I've been living here, it has been without a salary. I'm doing everything by myself. Just living by donations from people saying, wow, Jane, we have been blessed by your voice, we have been blessed by your work out of Israel, and now we want to lift your hands so you can continue. So God bless you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Please go and read my new blog. Please go on the GoFundMe page. By the way, that page is telling my whole story, more about what happened in Denmark, what brought me here, what have I been doing here, what have I been facing here, and the situation that I'm in now. God bless Israel, and thank you all for helping me being that voice that is reaching the nation. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Bye.